Hey everyone, welcome back to Behind Basics. Every year, on the first Monday in September, Americans come together to celebrate Labor Day, a holiday that honors the contributions of workers and the labor movement. But behind the barbecues and parades lies a rich history of struggle, resilience, and the fight for workers' rights. Join us as we explore the origins and evolution of Labor Day, a day dedicated to those who helped build the nation. The story of Labor Day begins in the early 19th century, during the Industrial Revolution. As factories sprang up across America, millions of workers found themselves toiling in harsh conditions, long hours, low pay, and little regard for safety. Child labor was rampant and workers had few, if any, rights. It was a time of rapid industrial growth, but also of severe exploitation. Amidst these challenges, the labor movement began to take shape. Workers started to organize, forming unions to demand better wages, reasonable hours, and safer working conditions. These early labor unions faced intense opposition from employers and the government, but their determination laid the groundwork for future victories. By the late 1800s, the labor movement had gained momentum. Workers across the country organized strikes and protests, demanding fair treatment. One of the most significant events during this time was the Great Railroad Strike of 1877, which saw workers across several states walk off the job, leading to violent clashes with law enforcement and the military. This strike was a turning point, highlighting the growing tensions between labor and management. The rise of powerful labor unions like the American Federation of Labor, AFL, played a crucial role in advancing workers' rights. Union leaders such as Samuel Gompers championed the cause of labor, advocating for an 8-hour workday and better working conditions. These efforts were not without sacrifice, as many workers lost their lives in the struggle for justice. As the labor movement grew, the idea of a national holiday to honor workers began to take root. The first Labor Day was celebrated on September 5, 1882, in New York City. Organized by the Central Labor Union, thousands of workers took part in a parade that marched from City Hall to Union Square, followed by picnics and speeches. This event was a powerful demonstration of solidarity and pride among workers. The success of the first Labor Day celebration sparked a movement, with other cities across the country organizing their own events. By 1885, Labor Day was recognized in several states, and the push for a national holiday began. The road to making Labor Day a national holiday was paved with both triumphs and tragedies. In 1894, the Pullman Strike, a nationwide railroad strike, resulted in violent clashes and the deaths of several workers. In the aftermath, President Grover Cleveland sought to appease the labor movement and prevent further unrest. On June 28, 1894, he signed the bill that officially made Labor Day a national holiday, to be celebrated on the first Monday in September. Labor Day was intended to recognize the contributions of American workers and to provide them with a well-deserved day of rest. Over time, the holiday evolved to include parades, speeches, and other public events that highlighted the achievements of the labor movement and the ongoing fight for workers' rights. As the 20th century progressed, Labor Day became a symbol of the progress made by the labor movement. The 8-hour workday, the abolition of child labor, and the establishment of safety standards were all victories won by the tireless efforts of workers and unions. Labor Day parades became a tradition, with workers proudly marching alongside their unions, celebrating their achievements and advocating for continued improvements. However, the holiday also began to take on a more commercial tone. By the mid-20th century, Labor Day had become associated with the end of summer, a time for barbecues, family gatherings, and back-to-school shopping. While the spirit of the labor movement remained, the holiday's significance as a day of labor activism began to wane. While Labor Day is uniquely American, the ideals it represents are shared by workers around the world. In many countries, May 1st is celebrated as International Workers' Day, or May Day, a day of solidarity with workers everywhere. From Europe to Asia to Latin America, workers march in the streets demanding fair wages, better working conditions, and social justice. the global labor movement has achieved significant victories, from the establishment of labor laws to the recognition of workers' rights as human rights. While the struggles may differ from country to country, the core message remains the same: the dignity of work and the importance of standing together in the fight for justice. Today, the labor movement continues to play a vital role in shaping the lives of workers. From fighting for a living wage to advocating for better healthcare and workplace safety, unions remain at the forefront of the battle for workers' rights. In recent years, we have seen a resurgence of labor activism, with teachers, healthcare workers, and employees in various industries organizing strikes and protests. As we look to the future, the significance of Labor Day may continue to evolve. Will it remain a day of rest and celebration, or will it return to its roots as a day of activism and advocacy? The challenges facing workers today, automation, globalization, and the gig economy, pose new questions for the labor movement. But one thing is clear: the fight for workers' rights is far from over, and Labor Day will continue to serve as a reminder of the power of collective action. Labor Day is more than just a day off. It's a tribute to the men and women who have fought for the rights and protections we often take for granted. As we celebrate this holiday, let's remember the history behind it and honor those who continue to fight for justice in the workplace. Whether you're enjoying a parade, spending time with family, or reflecting on the achievements of the labor movement, Labor Day is a time to recognize the value of hard work and the importance of standing together. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Behind Basics for more historical insights. Happy Labor Day!